Fabrizio, thank you for taking the time to talk with us here at Press Pass LA. First of all, congratulations on Running Point. What a smash success the first season was. And we know you're already renewed for season two, which is great. Tell me, what was it like when you got that call and they're like, hey, you've got this role, you're going to be with this amazing cast. We're putting out this new Netflix show. What was that feeling like? And what was that experience to get to that point?
I mean, you can imagine it wasn't something that came just out of the blue. I went through the auditioning process, so the anticipation was sitting with me for a while throughout this out this process. So when I got the call that I got the job, I was at home. It was like sometime in the afternoon, or sun was like starting to set maybe, and then out of nowhere, my mom actually called me because my team had called my mom and they were like, "Hey, go ahead and let him know that everything's looking like it's finalized and they want him." And she called me, and again, the anticipation of going through the casting process and just being so in love with what this project was and what I thought it might be. It was super exciting. I cried tears of joy.
Yeah, of course. I mean, so it's basically, loosely based off like kind of the Lakers, and you've got, Kate Hudson, an amazing cast. You've got, Jeannie Buss from the Lakers involved on the back end there. If I gotta ask, are you a basketball fan? Are you a Lakers fan? When you found out that this was like a basketball kind of LA story, like, is that what excited you about the script?
So prior to like hearing about this project, I wasn't really well versed in basketball. I didn't know a whole lot about it. I mean, I watched a couple games on TV before, but I wouldn't say I was like a diehard fan, right?
Mhm.
And then I got this role. I started looking into, well, when I got this role, I really tried watching as many games as I could because the
Mhm.
season was going on as we were working on this. I found a love for basketball, not only the game, but I started to pick up on different things. Like for example, um, if you watch basketball for the first time, you're just like, oh, okay, I get it. It's basketball, the game. And then once I'm watching it for a little longer, I'm like, oh, wow, I'm starting to like the style of the way
Mhm.
different people play. And I can see why people get attached to certain players and become fans
Mhm.
of certain players, even if the players maybe, in their rookie year, or they don't have as many, let's say, accolades as some of the more seasoned players. Like you see, you're excited for their growth, but it's not only that, it's also like, oh, I like the style in which this player gets to play. And so yeah, I kind of found a love for the sport. I found a love for like the I still don't know what to call it, but it's they're like trade rumors and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
call it maybe like the gossip of basketball, and it
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the players' like lives, but more so. Well, I guess it does. More so like their stats and where they're being traded off to and who's going where. But um, once I got to set, I got to talk to Brenda Song a lot because she's really she's really invested in basketball and she loves the sport. And she served as a really good guide for me to learn and point me in the right direction with things. And her enthusiasm is infectious too. So
Yeah, she's
um,
amazing in the show also, and you guys have some good scenes together where you're kinda going to her for the initial advice. Obviously, your character is the brother that they didn't know they had, right? And I think instantly the audience kind of loves him because he's, like you said, like you found that love for the sport and it comes through. But I think it's also just like the team dynamics, right? Anyone who's been on like any kind of team can kind of relate. And you love it so much, your character, that like you're willing to pass up the money. You just want the family and the experience. And so, honestly, like your character in the show for me was one of my favorite parts to watch because he's like so happy and just such a like true, like it's like just true emotion, right? Like it's not fake. It's his like love for being a part of it. And I like seeing that journey, right? So we have Kate Hudson, who's like, you know, a fish out of water per se, but she's really the most experienced person who probably should have been leading the whole organization from before. And then you have your character. And what was it like with you guys? Because she really is the one that decides like, no, we're bringing him into the family. And so what was it like working with her and kind of creating that dynamic? You also end up becoming her like assistant kind of in the show. So
Right.
what was that whole situation like?
Yeah, I mean, Kate is so much fun to work with. She shows up to set with the biggest smile, and I know Kate always has like a million and one things to do. And even then, she just enjoys her work, right? It doesn't feel like it's a task for her. She enjoys being there. She's so much fun, and she she gives so much to the craft. She's so dedicated, and she shows up really prepared with everything that she's going to do. I mean, you can imagine everything she's got going on the producer side of things and whatnot, but she shows up ready to play. Not only that, she allows for everyone around her to play, to have fun, to showcase what they can do, much like a team, because it is. Kate is great. She works hard. She plays really, really hard. Like she's the best.
Yeah, and some of those storylines you mentioned come out in the season, right? Like they're thinking of trading the best player per se, right? And then you have the personal story. Chet Hanks, who's amazing in this, also, he's got his rap career, but he also has pain going on, and can he play? Or there's so many kind of real storylines, and I think that's why people love it, because even if you know nothing about basketball, you're really watching like the team spirit and the family of it all versus like about the sport.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I think there's something for everyone with this show, which is really cool. And I think people like Jackie so much because I feel like Jackie is the one to arrive with fresh eyes, kind of like us as the viewer. We get to meet everyone in a way through like the eyes of Jackie. So I think, as we learn new things about the team, as we learn new things about the people around us, Jackie's also doing the same thing.
And he gets a little caught up in it, the ladies and the little fame, you know what I mean? Which is funny because you see how like that storyline comes about where it's like he's brand new to the world, and now he's got all these ladies interested in him and all these people kind of interested in who he is, and that's that pressure of like suddenly being thrust into like the spotlight or the money or all of that, which I think is an interesting storyline also. And you bring a lot of the comedic relief of the show with some of those scenes, like where you go to the doctor, or where you realize you've slept with the daughter of the organization.
Great. That's so funny. Uh, yeah, it makes for really great moments. I mean, Jackie kind of gets the world from one night to the next. But I think ultimately Jackie comes back to who Jackie is at the core, which is beautiful. I mean, yeah, it's like anything new. It's gonna shake most of us. It's gonna take some time to adjust. And that's what you see with Jackie's journey. But Jackie comes back to his core principles always, it seems like. And
His
yeah,
family, his mom, and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's why I think it's so important to note, like at when you get to the first episode or second episode, it's kind of ties together, right? But it's Jackie having to make the decision as to what he wants, whether it's like the money or the family kind of situation.
Mhm.
And family means so much to Jackie because Jackie's coming from a loss and
Yeah.
understands that, you can't replace people, but you can always go and make money. There's always, if there's
Mhm.
life, there's opportunity to go and build and bring in the material. So yeah, I love that Jackie kind of represents that for the series.
I'm super excited to see where his story goes, because I feel like in season two, we've got his budding love interest. He's getting more, they're starting to listen to him. And I think he's going to take on a much bigger role, like in the family and in the decisions and the team. So I'm really excited to see
Me
you
too.
in season two. And what else do you have going on? I mean, you're probably so busy with this show, but are you working on any other projects or anything else that we should be looking out for?
Well, I'm obviously super excited to get started soon on season 2 of Running Point. So prior to actually starting, I kind of start on my own and start doing
Mhm.
character work and building with that. But I knowing that I have that in my schedule, I kind of take time to do stand up because I do stand up as well. So I'm just going to take advantage of that time to be able to get up on stage and build material, and it's a passion of mine. So focused on that too.
Awesome. I love that. So many great comedic actors are great at stand up. So we're going to have to tell people to follow you on social media so they can see when your stand up dates are and they can check you out. And we'll be staying tuned for Netflix to announce, the new season premiere date for season 2. When do you start filming? When do you guys go back?
I have no exact date, but I know
It's
the
soon.
writers have gotten to the room and they're getting started on the first script. So
Awesome. Well, we can't wait to see it, and we can't wait to like follow where, your career goes with this show and in the future. Thanks
thank
so much. Thank you so much for being with us.
yes, always.